I've been wanting to talk for a while about two games for 3DS that were there on launch day. And to me, these two games sort of paint a picture of examples of Nintendo failing to maximize the games to their advantage and playing to Nintendo basically developing good software and failing to play to that software's strengths in order to benefit their system and sales of the games themselves. These two games are Steel Diver and Pilotwings Resort. I'm going to start with Pilotwings. Pilotwings is sort of funny because for years, since the GameCube days, I had been hearing consistently, especially around E3 time, when's the new Pilotwings coming out? I remember Pilotwings. Nintendo should make a new Pilotwings. And they come out with Pilotwings Resort, and even before the game came out, the reactions I saw lots of negativity floating around about this game in response to previews for it, saying, "Oh, it's just a casual game. It's just a rehash of Wii Sports Resort. It's just flying through rings, just a glorified tech demo." And I just have to wonder, did those people play any of the earlier Pilotwings games, which were only two Pilotwings on Super NES and Pilotwings 64 on Nintendo 64? Because this game got a lot of negative impressions just because of the mere presence of Mii characters, painting it as a casual novice only game. Even the characters in Pilotwings 64 looked a lot like Mii's, and the game is pretty much just maneuvering aircraft around and completing challenges, and going to the free flight mode and doing whatever you wanted. So not sure how it got a sort of. I got a lot of unfair criticism because of that from people who never played it. But aside from that, really, I think Pilotwings Resort. I haven't played it probably on Super NES, but I played it on N64. It was the second N64 game I ever played after Mario 64, and I knew that Pilotwings would be a great way for me to experience the 3D for the first time. And that's actually the game I chose to be the first time I saw the 3D visuals of the 3DS in person. And in that sense, and just giving the nature of Pilotwings, because I paid $40. I happily paid $40 for it, knowing exactly what I was getting into. But even then, I'm like, this is an obvious pack-in title. Uh, I think if they this is a obvious great first experience for the 3DS, especially tying into the resort, tying it into the Wii Sports Wii Fit setting. I think that would have been a perfect counterpart to say Wii Sports on the Wii as a first experience type game. And I think that in addition to the bundled software, you know, the Mi Plaza and the camera and the music player and face raiders and all that, I think Pilotwings Resort just may have pushed the 3DS, the value of what you got in that box, to justify the $250 price point. But I really think that this game would have gotten better impression. It would have flourished, I think, for what it is. This game would have flourished as a pack-in for the Nintendo 3DS at $250. So that's what I have to say about that. And Steel Diver, Steel Diver got a lot of heat. I don't think it deserved. In fact, I've seen Steel Diver. There was an article I read, like top 10 3DS games that should have been $1 iPhone apps, and I've seen this game being called in reviews like I've seen people calling this game shovelware, and that is completely unfair. This game is absolutely not shovelware. It is a good game, but I will say this: I paid $40 for it, knowing what it was. About Steel Diver itself, I think really to a certain extent, this is like the perfect game to demonstrate why why the strengths of the 3DS in regards to you could have the entire touchscreen dedicated just to your map positioning and for your touchscreen input, and have the entire 3D widescreen just for the game action. And that is something, touchscreen gaming without interrupting or getting in the way of the game action is something you just can't do on a smartphone. It's a major strength of the 3DS. And I think Steel Diver, and it's just strength of the original DS as well. This game originally was a prototype demo at E3 2004 when they first demonstrated the Nintendo DS at that year's E3. And on one hand, Nintendo launched it's a new IP. It's something a lot of gamers accuse Nintendo of not coming out with enough, not taking enough risks. I mean, they could have easily made this Star Fox submarine missions or some nonsense like that. But no, they just made a submarine game, and really, I think I paid $40 knowing what I was getting into. Uh, it's been argued that it's short on content, but I mean, I think this game is a good game, but a $40 retail title is not the dream. It's not where this game was meant to flourish. If this if this had been a $10 eShop download, I think this could have been a hit. I think and I'm not saying that to demote the game. I'm saying that and to promote the game. I'm saying that as this game, this game is a shark in the middle of the desert. This game it's a fish out of water. It's not an oh, and it's a maritime themed game. I'm being punny there. I didn't mean this. Pun not intended. But this game I think would have as maybe a 20 launched a lot of Nintendo DS games at $20 and they did great. I think this game could have done very well at 20, maybe $30, but I think at retail this game's price should have been $20. And as a download, where I think it really would have flourished, this game is an ideal download game. This is not a game worthy for casual 3DS use. I mean, I say casual, not in the casual gaming sense. I mean, just everyday use. Is Steel Diver really worth carrying around, say, Super Mario 3D Land and the card for that for just a regular day's walking around? I say no. But as a downloadable game where you don't have to carry an extra piece of an extra cartridge with you, in addition to the game that's in your cartridge slot, I think Steel Diver could have been a very strong game. I would have had a great deal more utility. And that's what I have to say. They're two games. They're both good games, but the way they were packaged, the way they were distributed, I don't think it was their place to shine. And I think if the eShop had been there at day one, I think Nintendo might have put this on the eShop instead. And Pushmo, I mean, if Pushmo had been a 3DS launch game, they would have launched it probably as a $40 retail title. And Pushmo is not a $40 cartridge game. I would never have bought or played Pushmo as $40, but as a $7 3DS eShop download, it is a beautiful thing. I got Pushmo today. I downloaded it today, in fact. Perfectly happy. It is a perfect example of I'm going to do a whole Pushmo review, so I'm going to refrain from speaking its praises here, but Nintendo is getting a hang of which games are best as retail games and which games are better as downloads. And because of that, I think Nintendo is going to be able to take a lot more risks on new IPs that whereas maybe, putting a huge team and making a huge effort to make a new game, totally new game idea with a new character that may or may not catch on might not have made sense as a huge retail game, but as a smaller scale download game, it could be really attractive, which I think is we're starting to see new IPs, like Pushmo, like Dylan's Rolling Western. So that's what I have to say about Pilotwings Resort and Steel Diver. and I've been planning this video for months, so I finally got to talk about those two games, and thank you very much for watching.